we got all this sealed up because it's cold, but we need to talk about speed square. Man, look at the size of that speed square. So, Central Craftsman just did a video about a speed square, mainly this one right here, Smart Square, and I want to talk about it because before you drop $150 for this guy right here, there's a couple things you need to know, because you may not need to pay as much, or maybe you do need to pay that much. You can never have too many speed squares, period. Is this considered speed square? Absolutely. It fits in there, don't question it, it works. But for sake of it and the fact that it doesn't have rafters, this is more for just, you know, doing it, you know, squaring stuff. So maybe we should get this one out of the road. I did want TSO. They get $400, and yeah, I didn't want TSO, I guess. One thing that was interesting after watching the Central Craftsman's video about this Smart Square, and I did think that this was the cat's meow, if you want to say it. I just thought it was the bomb, and my mind's kind of been changed after it hanging in my tool belt for a little while. I don't think it's that bad of speed square, but I want to show you a few issues with it. Let me get Central Craftsman did a video on this right here. This is a Smart Square. Owned this for about, I don't know, year and a half, 2 years. And I'll be honest, I do like nice things. I mean, I feel as though that falls along with night packs, Martinez. I don't understand why, if you're in the trade, why people need to look down on you for spending a little bit of stuff, you know, on stuff that, you know, is your livelihood. You know, a doctor or a lawyer can go spend years in college, but you're not supposed to spend $400 on a hammer. People are like, oh, that's insane. One book at school cost over $400. All right, but let's talk about speed squares. Central Craftsman did a video on this, and I did want to address a few shortcomings before we address a couple other brands. Here we got a little bit more traditional guys right here, and yeah. All right, so the first thing I wanted to talk about was the level, and I think the level is probably the biggest shortcoming on this. Now, if you're not, we're actually reshooting this because I wanted the sun out, so that way to give this the biggest benefit. So, I mean, mind you, this level right here in a dark area, or even a dimly lit area, is near impossible to see. You just can't see it. As opposed to this one right here. This one, it seems like you can see it all the time, and you don't need to spend $150 because you can go to this Johnson and you can see this is very well, you can just see it, it's very visible. So that's a ding right there on this vial. The second thing is how slow it moves. Now, if you're holding a board and holding a nail gun, that is one of the things that trust me, when you get up on a ladder and you're holding a board, holding the speed square, you're using this as a level because you don't have this on your side. You should have this. Modern day carpenter should always have a level. I carry basically 3 on me, but I really do like a good level on a speed square. This takes so long to correct. It just seems like when you're up, especially up on a roof, and you've kind of lost sense of level, you know, you're horizontal, that you really can't tell 10 degrees off. So you'll compensate one time and you're like, no, especially if you're holding a modern day cordless nail gun that weighs about 50 pounds. It's just you don't have the time to compensate for how slow this thing reacts. Okay, so we talked about the dimness, how slow it reacts. Here's one big fault that I have. Let's come on over here and we'll come back. So a lot of times I will hang a square to use that level. Not only can you see it from up underneath, these right here you can see straight down. So that one right there, very cool, very cool. Squi-Jig, and this is a Johnson. This is between a how you outfitted 110 to 150, and this is $30. Mm-hmm. 30, 35. This right here is roughly $150. Let's try to do that with this one. And well, not only you can't even see the bubble, especially up against wood, because the vial's the same color typically as what wood is. This one you can, because it's getting the light from the top. Now this one doesn't even work, even though it's not visible. It does not work in this position. You have to go on the top side. Waiting. Okay, we're up. So we can see that the house was built on level. But I actually like, a lot of times when I'm hanging a board, I like to hang it from the top side. This particular one here, you would either have to grip it from underneath. It's not too bad, and especially if you're dealing with pine or some type of lighter colored wood, you can see the bubble somewhat, but it is near impossible seeing it in a dimly lit area. All right, so clearly you can tell I'm not a fan of the Smart Square level portion. Now here, I do want to address something else, and let's go right over here. I got this mark coming down through here. If we can identify for measuring purposes, this is 0. So 0, 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch. The whole premise of this is you can do that direction, you can come over to that direction, and you can do flat. That was the main purpose I bought it. I really like this idea. The problem is you have 2 sets of scales. So 0 starts here, 1 starts here. It is very easy to make a mistake with this configuration, and I have to really pay attention to myself that I don't make a mistake using this here. I believe that the markings down through here, or the notches, a little bit less desirable for what I would like something more. I do understand that they have over here, and I believe that's your 1.5 inches. Why didn't it mark? Oh, I know why it didn't mark, because there's not room to go on an angle with a mechanical pencil. See that? Are you seeing? Mm-hmm. No mark showing up because I can't use my tracer with it. Alright, I'm not putting this speed square down. I will not get rid of it because I already bought it, but plus this is a big benefit as far as going in there, making it flat, tracing it, and it's a very nice speed square, but it has a lot of what I consider flaws for it to be a framing speed square. This is what I currently carry, and by the way, I've had this roughly 2 years, 9 months or so for this one. Why did I go with this over Martinez or Stiletto? I like the color. I like the colored notches in there. And I think these are a little bit cooler looking, but I have thought about getting a Martinez and putting like paint inside the notches. Be a little bit easier. But one of the main differences that I noticed between this Squi-Jig and this, which I bought this one first, but shortly thereafter I saw Johnson came out with this, and I was like, that looks like a knockoff of this. And I'm going to tell you, this one is a very good speed square for the money. Of course, you have your rafter tables on there. not your tables, but your degrees. And so that works all well right there. But of course you can do your 1/2 inch right there. Come on over here, do that. See I was able to do it with this one. I'm able to come in there. Let's see, I want to do inch. No, I want to do 1 1/8. So I just come over here. Very nice, very nice. Now one thing I did notice with the Johnson is you do have marks up here. You're gonna have to figure them out. Inch and let me see, that'd be 1/4 inch and a 1/4, 1.5 inches, and so we're inch. So I'm assuming this is 1 1/8. So here's my issue. I'm already thinking, and I consider myself a fairly intelligent person, but you need a tool that makes your job simpler. And if I can get marks in there and lessen the degree of mistake, that's about it. Now that right there, the notches and the markings up here are clearly, I believe, better on the Squi-Jig. But there's a couple things on this Johnson that I like better. This heel is thinner than this, almost 1/8 of an inch, maybe not. I'd prefer this right here. Now they have rounded some of these edges. That's kind of nice, but I like this up here on the Johnson, where as you can see, this one here does not have no markings. This does. So wherever you are, you can always trace that over. This has the markings on every side. I like that. I like that. This one doesn't. Shoot, I'd even take markings on this on the end if they didn't. Squi-Jig does come with
Squi-Jig.
Squi-Jig. I mess up because we got the Squi-Jig and we got the Squi-Jig. That's the nut size for at least the Makita saws. I believe it does a couple others. Plus you have it on your heel. And this is 9/16 14 millimeter, and it's made in the States. Now, what'd you tell me about this one?
It does not have it.
No, where's this
the
made?
vial is made in America. I don't know where the rest squares
So they made the vial
made somewhere else.
That's kind of hard to believe that they made that in America. But this one's, you know, there's your 1/2 inch right there. It's, you know, it's very, if you pick this up, you're gonna learn it really quick, and it's $30 to $35. This one right here, I'm not saying to not buy it, because I will tell you, I just realized, Harley's gonna freak out here, but they make a 12 inch of this now, and it's basically $300. I'm probably gonna buy it, mainly for this function right there. There will be a lot of times that this will be super beneficial for in bathrooms when doing layout. But I'm very prone to making mistakes with this one, so that's why I no longer carry it, and that's why I carry this. What's your thoughts?
I like my Johnson, but I like that one's made in America.
I do too.
I notice this is heavier,
Yeah.
but it's because that top plate's thicker.
It could be a higher quality aluminum too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not much different.
Very close.
Not much different, but.
Alright, we will see you guys in the next video. Make sure to check out the channel, comment, subscribe, and hit that like and that bell for reminders every time we post a new video. We'll see you guys in the next one. Alright.